Me, Mario. Yahoo! Woohoo! Let's go! Let's have fun! Nintendo! Oh yeah!
Alright, good morning everybody. How you guys all doing this Friday? It is me, your host of Nintenbros, Chris.
And Josh.
And Noah will be in just a minute. He is on his way. Hopefully he's coming in very, very soon. But anyways, this is Nintenbros. It's great. Let's turn that down. There we go. Alrighty. And we have music. Woohoo! Alrighty, so today's music selection is a collection of music from Kirby. We don't have a specific game, we just have Kirby in general. So that's going to be what our music selection is today. So, exciting Friday. We've got a lot to cover, got a lot of news, got a lot of stuff to get through, so let's get rolling with that right away. So, first things first, this is kind of something that we'll mention. It's pretty important that I do mention this now and not later on. This week is our last show before Thanksgiving. We won't be having another show next week just because Black Friday and Josh and I will be working, and we just don't have anybody who will be able to do the show next week, so we're going to be taking a temporary break, but we will be back on the 30th, I believe, is what it... No, it's December 1st. Whatever day it is that it ends up being 2 weeks from now, that is the day we shall be back on air, and we'll have another show for you, so we'll do that, and as always, we have our YouTube channel up. It is Nintenbros Show, and
we have everything up there with that. Everything is current, so you can go ahead and find all the previous shows on our YouTube channel. We'll make sure to link that to our Facebook here today at some time, so that way you can always listen in and make sure that you didn't miss anything from previous weeks, and that you're all caught up and know everything that we know about what's happening with Nintendo.
So. Alright, and then Josh, if you want to take away with the first couple things, kind of give everybody an update on the YouTube channel. Did you mention that already? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Just get everybody going with the first topic. I'm going to go rescue Noah and get him into the station, okay?
Alrighty. So, kind of one of the things that we have going on, I want to make sure that I mentioned this beforehand too. Our views are our own. We're not endorsed by Nintendo in any way, but we'd love to be at one point, but as of today, our views are simply our own, but we're glad to be here and able to talk about it. So, one of our first points that I want to have is happy birthday, Shigeru Miyamoto. You turned 65 as of yesterday, 11/16. 65. I can't believe that he doesn't seem that old to me. He seems like he's still in his 40s. Good old Shigeru Miyamoto. Thank you for sticking around and still being here.
Yeah, he looks great for 65.
Also, hello, Noah.
Hi.
I'm sorry for...
I walked up to the door at 9 on the dot, and it's like it was already going on, so it's like, oh. They close one lane on Southfield, and everybody loses their minds and forgets how to drive. It's terrible. It's amazing how a 10-minute, not even 10-minute commute can go to a 20 or 30-minute commute.
Mm-hmm.
It's obnoxious.
All right, definitely. And then we did already mention this, but we will keep you in the loop, Noah. We won't be having a show next week just because everybody's working.
But I wasn't going to come in.
And then we'll be back.
I got some turkey to eat. I got some things to buy for Christmas.
Yes,
definitely.
And we'll be back 2 weeks from now, so that's just keeping you in the loop so that you're not like you come in and you're like, where is everybody?
I wasn't coming, don't worry.
Alright, so we've got a little bit of Splatoon news, which is kind of a new thing. We've kind of not really talked about Splatoon all that much, but there really hasn't been excuse me, much going on in the way of Splatoon news. But we do have a new Splatfest. It's sci-fi versus fantasy, and that starts tonight in our local time, Eastern time. It'll be midnight, so it'll be technically tomorrow at midnight, but I won't. That's a technicality, and I'm not going to dwell on that too much.
But sci-fi versus fantasy, which one are you choosing?
I'm a sci-fi guy, I'll be honest.
Man.
that's what I feel like a majority of people are going to be going for, because everyone loves Star Wars, and that's just kind of the genre of just But I think I'll be going with some fantasy, some type Lord of the Rings type, adventure with the Splatfest. So I feel like that they'll get more wins in terms of fantasy.
I'm with Josh on this one. Fantasy all the way, 100%. I'm Lord of the Rings at heart. Lord of the Rings, Zelda, all the classic fantasy stuff is really dear to me. So I like my Star Wars. Don't get me wrong, but
I'm much more of a modern guy. I'm much more of like the futuristic, like stuff in the future type of a thing, like Guardians of the Galaxy level stuff.
Ooh.
That's like my interest level.
Don't try to sway me like this.
But yeah. It'd be interesting, but we'll have to see if my theory continues along. No sound at all. We are streaming. I just don't have.
Oh no, you're good.
Okay.
No, your mom said just her technical difficulties. All right, so we're good. All right, kind of on to the next point with Splatoon. And this is going to be kind of exclusive to Japan. Weirdly enough, as of right now, January issue of the Japanese magazine Koro. They're going to have a serial code for Splatoon 2 to unlock the Emperor gear. And that's going to have the headgear, the Kaiser cuff, which is the gear power, and then it raises the ink ratio. The clothing is going to be the King Bench Kaiser, which the gear power is it raises movement speed in the human form, and the shoes are going to be the Imperial Kaiser. And that's gear power is it raises movement speed in the squid form. So, pretty decent stuff. Not sure if it's going to be released outside of Japan, but something cool for at least the Japanese audience to look forward to. Hopefully it does come over here to America.
And the thing I like about that is it's definitely geared towards people who are like more inking territory. This is definitely a setup that a lot of people are going to enjoy in terms of that, because it's more geared towards ink ratio, so you're going to get more shots out of your tank rather than wasting all of it, and then the movement is faster.
So you go fast.
So you're going to be able to get to get to wherever needs ink quicker.
So
moving on, we've got some new ARMS news. We've got a new character that has been released, who's named Missango, not to be confused with Missingo, which
Pokemon.
is the glitchy Pokemon that you can get all the way back in red, blue, and yellow, and green.
I was reminded of ARMS' existence yesterday by by Nintendo's post on Facebook about this new fighter. I understand why ARMS' popularity initially kind of faded. Not a lot going for it.
And it was stacked up against Splatoon.
Yeah, Splatoon, just a lot of stuff going on at the same time. I get it. I'm glad that there's still people that play it though. And this guy's got scorpions for arms, so that's pretty darn cool. I can't say that that's not cool. His stage is pretty nice too.
Yeah, definitely. So, kind of on another topic of sorts, there is Fire Emblem update. Version 1.2 is now available, and it's going to be adding a couple new costumes, history mode map, and a lot more coming with that. I just got that information just this morning, so
for Fire Emblem Warriors.
Yep. So that's pretty cool. And also addition with Fire Emblem, we had a whole kind of like mini direct for Fire Emblem Heroes. It had it's with the Choose Your Legends update.
And then so you got more top heroes from the event have arrived. And then Joshua from the Sacred Stones. Now, our Josh, different Josh. 18th place in the men's bracket. And then you can earn Joshua by playing the Tempest Trials on November 20th at 11 p.m. Pacific Time. So that's going to be November 21st, 2 a.m. Eastern Time.
So
also coming in, we got Mia from Path of Radiance, who took 16th place in the women's bracket. Lute from Sacred Stones. Dorcas from Fire Emblem 1. I love his name. He's my favorite. And then there are 3 others that you have to summon, which you can't earn in that manner. But that is good to see these. I'm not the biggest fan of Fire Emblem Heroes, but I love seeing the representation from the entire series in this game. It's even some of the characters you'd never expect to make it are in, and I love it. Like, I love Mia in Path of Radiance. She's one of my favorite characters. Yeah. And then Joshua also in Sacred Stone. Joshua's awesome. I love him. Mm-hmm. Like, it's great.
I think they've done a good job with the app so far. I enjoy playing it here and there, and as well as with this next update, it's going to have you, you're going to get a bunch of boosts, and then each hero that uses a staff can learn new skills starting at 5 stars. You got a bunch of pluses. You got Absorb Plus, Slow Plus, Gravity Plus, Pain Plus, Panic Plus, Candlelight Plus, Recover Plus, and much more. Countdown trigger changes for specials. There's going to be 18 special skills that are changing. You're going to be able to expand your brackets to fit 100 more heroes from what you already have. And then, like, for the main story, they changed it so that way it only requires a stamina of 10. They kind of capped it at that, so that way you're not spending more stamina on the story, so that way you can get through the story and be able to do stuff like that. So.
And then with the weapon refinery, that's going to be a new thing that they're going to add, so you can upgrade heroes' weapon skills. You can access it after clearing a new part of the story, which is an interlude between chapters. There's going to be arena medals, which are obtained by participating in arena battles. We've got refining stones, which you can get from quests, and much more. You've got Divine Dew, which some heroes will have special weapons that will require this. Refining stones can be used to upgrade weapons and get Divine Dew, and then Killing Edge Plus will be upgraded to, or can be upgraded to Slaying Edge Plus.
In addition to that, we got the Legendary Hero Summoning event. There's 11 other heroes, aside from the ones that we mentioned earlier, are going to be part of this event. Some of the special heroes that we've seen in previous events are going to be back, which is always good. If you're using Focus, the 5-star appearance rate is going to be 8%, whereas non-Focus is going to be at 0%. So you gotta get that Focus in if you want those heroes. That's for sure.
And that's going to start on November 27th at 11 p.m. Pacific. And then you can have Fordrum can join you as a 5-star ally, and he has a special ability that they haven't released to us just yet. And looking forward to coming out Storybook 2. It's going to be a new story. You're going to have Suitor, which is the ruler of flame, and then Fordrum, which is going to be the princess of ice. And you can jump right into the story straight from Book 2. That's going to be out right away, and then more chapters in the future are going to be coming out with new updates as well to kind of keep that going.
So we've got Super Mario Run news. They've got an update that they've released involving an in-game login event. So now we can earn the Super Mario Odyssey statues. So the Mario wedding statue is going to be available from now. Well, that's already ended. So Pauline is available from the 15th to the 20th. Bowser wedding statue is going to be available from the 20th to the 24th. And the Peach wedding statue is going to be available from the 24th to the 28th of this month. So nice to see that we've got some Super Mario Odyssey coming into the Super Mario Run, and everybody's kind of keeping everything conglomerated and keeping up with everything. So it's nice to see that even the mobile games are getting some love with the new stuff coming out.
Yeah, it's always good that they're, like, when you expand into a new market, it's easy to just release the thing and then say, oh, we're good, we did it. But Nintendo's been really good about, continued update, adding new content to their mobile games, making them compelling to continue to keep playing. So that's really good. Speaking of a topic that I think we've touched on a couple times on the show so far, YouTube and Nintendo and the complicated relationship that they have. In an interview with Polygon, YouTube's head of gaming, Ryan Wyatt, has said that Nintendo is spending a lot of time looking at how to engage their creation community and how to handle monetization, which we know they don't handle the best right now.
So yeah, they've been having conversations between each other, and they're trying to figure out how to benefit both the video game publisher and the content creator on YouTube. And he definitely thinks that there's ways to improve it and better optimize it. Because as of right now, a lot of content creators, basically for any of Nintendo's games, aren't really taking the money from the ads. They're basically just doing in video game product placement kind of thing, so that way they get it from these other ads that they sign up to do with. So Nintendo's not getting that money in any way. So they're Nintendo, I guess, is trying to fix things. Says Ryan. So hopefully things will get better in terms of everything with Nintendo and YouTube, and kind of help to fix the brokenness that is their YouTube system. So.
Yeah, and I think they're probably going to try their best to actively work on it. I mean, again, this will probably be something like the Wii U, where they'll have a period where it's going to be and then they'll get it, and then they'll understand, and then it'll be better from there on. So hopefully something like that will repeat itself. And with Nintendo, I'm thinking it should. I don't think it's something that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, we'll see though, because I mean, as of right now, Nintendo has come out and said that basically in Europe, for a lot of these retailers, they're delaying the shipments of all these games because they've had so many problems of recent of these stores breaking the street date and giving out the games before said street dates. So I mean, I can understand on that aspect of Nintendo kind of putting their hands down a little bit, but I it's going to be a little bit bad for like the smaller retailers that aren't getting it right then and there on, or getting enough.
Yeah.
So
and really, at the same time, it's like they're bringing it on themselves because you keep banging on that door, and they're gonna come and they're gonna answer the door and they're gonna throw a pie in your face.
Yeah.
So. On to one of our next topics, which is coming up here soon. You got the Game Awards for 2017. And there's going to be 29 different categories that you can vote on.
And we've got a list of a few things that are on there.
Yeah.
Game of the Year, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey. You got PUBG, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. You've got Persona 5, Horizon Zero Dawn. I think of these, honestly, it's either, and I had a discussion with the guy at like midnight release last night for Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. It's gonna be Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, or PUBG. It's Persona 5 and Horizon Zero Dawn, good games that they are.
Game of the Year, though.
But they're not quite up to the caliber that Breath of the Wild or even PUBG are at.
I don't know. I think it's really. I think you could go to any one of these 5 games. Honestly, I don't think it's really clear cut. My personal bias says it's going to be something in Breath of the Wild or Odyssey.
Yeah.
But PUBG is exploded in popularity, and it's a very good game. It's a lot of dumb fun most of the time, but it's very exciting to play. It's very fast. It's very fun. And then Horizon Zero Dawn and Persona 5, both excellent games. I wouldn't sleep on them. I don't think it's clear cut at all who the winner is on this one.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, but Breath of the Wild 2 has been nominated for a bunch of other ones as well. They're in the running for the best game direction, best art direction, best score / music, which I completely disagree with. We'll talk about that.
I don't agree with best score and music.
We'll talk about that in a second. They have best audio design, and they're in the running for best action / adventure game. For the best music in the score, we have a few different games. We have Destiny 2, Cuphead, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Persona 5, and Nier Automata. I was talking to Chris about this morning. I said Breath of the Wild does not deserve to be in that category. If it was a typical Zelda game and actually had an orchestrated thing other than just like bird sounds and
I don't know. A lot of the boss soundtracks are really, really good. But the music it has are really, really good. But the quantity of music that it has for the gameplay is not up to the best score / music category.
There we go.
I think the audio design is an excellent category for them, though, because the audio design of the Wild, like all the ambient sounds, they did a really amazing job making that world feel alive.
Yes, I would agree.
Music, I agree with you, though.
Yeah, no, I out of those ones, I would probably say Odyssey or Cuphead, actually, because Cuphead's soundtrack.
I love Cuphead's soundtrack, but I've got to give it to Persona 5. That soundtrack is so good.
Yeah.
See, I can't talk because I really have only played one game on the list. Breath of the Wild.
And you know that one's not going to win.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. I mean, Breath of the Wild is in best game direction, best art direction. I mean,
it's in a lot.
It's in a lot of categories. Same thing with Odyssey. Like I keep seeing
there too.
Here
which is really, I'm glad it made it for that many, because even though it just came out, I'm glad it's considered for so many things, because it is really good. From what I've played, I've barely played any of it. I've played like 2 minutes maybe on a friend's Switch, and I already think I agree.
And best handheld game, I must say the best handheld game should really just be renamed to best 3DS game, because
they're all 3DS games.
What 3DS game isn't on this list? Best RPG, you've got South Park, Final Fantasy 15, Divinity, Original Sin 2.
I think Persona 5 is going to take
Persona 5.
I don't think that's a question.
Best family games: Splatoon 2, Sonic Mania, Mario and Rabbids, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Mario Odyssey. These I can see. Sonic Mania is a bit of a stretch because it really is kind of more just a two-player game than anything else. But I can kind of see how it is because you know.
I would say Splatoon 2. You can only really can't. Really, I mean, well, unless you all have Switches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best multiplayer, we got Fortnite, Call of Duty World War II, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Destiny 2, and PUBG. I think PUBG takes that by a landslide.
Yeah.
I don't think anything else wins that category. I think maybe Destiny 2 is the closest, and it's not even close.
I think honestly one that's got it pretty well nailed down. Best debut indie game.
I've got to root for Hollow Knight. I have to.
I mean, it's definitely between Hollow Knight and
Cuphead for sure.
Yeah.
It's between Hollow Knight and Cuphead for sure. Slime Rancher, Misty Shifty, and Golf Story.
They're
not bad games, but they're not Hollow Knight and Cuphead.
Yeah.
I think it's Hollow Knight for the most complete experience. The same, like, it's not like a 1930s cartoon hand drawn, but the art direction of that game is beautiful. It is so good. That game comes out on the Switch. It looks like early next year. Both of you guys buy that game as soon as it comes out. Like it's so good. And the story, the lore of that world. Oh, I love Hollow Knight, man. It's one of my favorites. It's easily become one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
And I think it deserves to win that category. It's gonna be tough to beat Cuphead because Cuphead was so hyped.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
And it kind of met up with that hype. Yeah.
Yeah, and it matched the hype that it got. But Hollow Knight is. I think it's a strong contender especially because we just had there was some DLC that just released on Halloween that got out for free. They're doing that cool thing that indie developers are doing nowadays where they're giving their DLC away for free because they're not jerks.
They're not EA, but we'll talk about EA a little bit later though.
Oh, we've got some late 11th hour news that happened.
I'm ready.
Oh, we're gonna have a good discussion about that later today.
But I hope Hollow Knight takes it.
All right, moving on to some more news. Stardew Valley, some Stardew Valley news, which we all love here. Stardew Valley is a great game. Concerned Ape is actually currently working hard on multiplayer features for Stardew Valley, and it will be added in a future update. And additionally, something else is planned to also impact single player. So we're about to see an expansion on Stardew Valley that is going to be a much appreciated and much needed,
much anticipated.
Yes,
as well. Multiplayer is everybody's ready for multiplayer in Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah,
I think that everybody's waiting to dig right back into it with multiplayer because I know I've already got like 2 groups of friends that are like, all right, how are we gonna do this? And the real important question: who are you marrying?
Yeah,
that's the real. We're trying not to have conflict there. So
and on top of that, the big fun part is like how they're going to implement it. Are they going to do cross-platform, or are they going to do just like specific
cross-platform
platforms?
Is so good.
Because I think if they can do it with Rocket League, they can easily do it with Stardew Valley.
Absolutely.
And Stardew Valley is even less intensive than.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Some Pokemon news. Well, not really news, more updates and reviews. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. IGN 9 out of 10, GameSpot 8 out of 10, Destructoid 9 out of 10, Nintendo Life 10 out of 10, Game Explain liked it a lot, and then Game Reactor 9 out of 10. Pretty standard, par for the course for reviews for a Pokemon game. Mm-hmm. It's Pokemon, it's Nintendo, they're gonna do great with that. If one of you guys want to take the next topic.
With the launch of the game as well, Tommy created a new Z Power Ring set, which, they made one for the first game, and, this new one is going to be able to work with both Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and the old games as well, and it'll kind of give you that fourth dimensional playing, if you want, where, the real life toy is going to be, you're going to be able to play with it, and, when you do a Z move, the thing's gonna shake or whatever, and you put on the little Z crystal, and it's gonna be like, it's gonna make sounds and stuff, and make it real cool for those.
That's pretty cool.
That's a neat little thing. I personally wouldn't get it, but I can see the
younger audience definitely. I think it'll be a cool toy.
It's like an augmented reality type of a thing. It's really nice to see something like that. So my major sink into Pokemon, the TCG. the trading card game. We've got a new card type coming in 2018 that's being called Ultra Prism, and it will release in February with the new expansion, keeping to the track of how they release new expansions. So in addition to 10 new GX cards, the set will have 6 special Prism Stars cards, a new type of card with special rules and abilities. They haven't revealed quite... Oh, they got some information there down below. They revealed the first Prism Star card, a Sol Galeo Prism card, and then players can only have one of each Prism Star card in their deck, and they have to put that card in a special Lost Zone discard pile when discarded. And once in the Lost Zone, a Prism Star card is permanently removed from play for the rest of the game. So it's... but the thing with it is unlike the GX cards where you take 2 prize cards if you knock it out, players can only get 1 prize card for knocking out a Prism Star card, even though they have the abilities and attacks comparable to other types of powerful Pokemon cards. For example, Sol Galeo Prism card lets players distribute energy from their discard pile equal to the number of Pokemon in their opponent has in play. So they can quickly power up the Sol Galeo card or, other Pokemon in play, and then easily hit an opponent that's got an attack damage of 160 damage.
How much is that in the trading card game? Is that a lot?
Let's see. The only cards that would be able to survive that hit would be like EX cards.
Okay.
And they're like base 180.
Dang, that's pretty good.
So like pretty much like all of the trio evolutions. So like you've got like Litten, Torcat, Incineroar. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be able to survive something like that unless it's an
no, they're not
GX.
dead. They're fainted.
Oh no, they're dead after that one. It's Sol Galeo. They're dead.
Get back in the bag, Nebby.
Speaking of an odd thing in Pokemon recently, the new movie I Choose You that came out, Pikachu talks.
Yes.
Which I saw this and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry for the spoilers, folks, but near the end of the film, Ash and Pikachu are about to be like murdered by Mewtwo. Like they're going to die.
This is basically first movie.
Then the end of the first movie, yeah. Ash asks Pikachu why he won't go into the Pokeball because he wants to like save him, and he actually talks and says, "Because I always wanted to be with you." What? I'm hoping it's like in a stylistic choice. It's that like he's actually saying like Pika Pika Pee, but we're just hearing from his perspective. But does Ash react at all? I didn't see the movie. I only saw this scene. But
he kind of freaks out a little bit, and everybody in the audience kind of freaked out
a little bit.
Everybody in the audience freaked out.
Unsurprisingly.
Everybody in the audience freaked out, like, what the heck is going on? Yeah. Pikachu's not supposed to talk. Only, like, Meowth is supposed to talk and translate.
Weird. That's interesting. Wait, does that mean Pokemon have been screwing with us this whole time? Does that mean they can all talk?
I don't know. I mean, but it's kind of weird, though, but, it kind of leads up to, what the new Pikachu movie will be doing anyhow. You got the Detective Pikachu, which will actually be talking anyhow, so it's like...
Detective Pikachu does talk, so like,
maybe they're just alluding to that, like, maybe all Pikachus can talk, but, like, I don't know, I want Detective Pikachu to be voiced by Danny DeVito, so...
Of course. We need this man.
So, well, we'll see.
And in some other unrelated news, Build-A-Bear did listen to us. There's a Bulbasaur, but it's online and it's $55.
So it's actually cheaper than the other ones.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
But now I don't know what to... Now if I was going to get one, now I have a tough choice because do I want Bulbasaur or do I want Vulpix? Like, great. Now I don't even know. Oh, but I'm so excited about this. We have a rumor from Kotaku UK that there's new Ace Attorney. Oh man, I'm so excited. Ace Attorney is one of my favorite series. 2 compilations will be launched between April and October of 2018. The initial release will be a bundle of the first 3 games, Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations. And then the other, of course, is going to be the other 6, the kind of Apollo trilogy with Apollo Justice, Dual Destinies, and Spirit of Justice, which are... I'm excited about that, but Capcom is also working on a brand new mainline Ace Attorney title for the Switch. Supposedly it's going to be scheduled for a late 2018 worldwide release, and it'll have 5 cases at launch, and Phoenix Wright is coming back as a playable character, which kind of expected for Phoenix Wright to be playable, but I am Oh man, I love me some Ace Attorney, so I'm so ready for that.
Definitely looking forward to seeing that hopefully come to fruition.
I hope so. I hope all of that is true. I hope so.
So, in unrelated news and onto a new topic, we've got trademark has been applied for Super Smash Brothers, and there's a new set of trademarks, including Super Smash Brothers. So there's among different games that are available. So we've got multiple trademarks that have been applied for, but the one that we're mainly concerned with is the Smash trademark, and it's kind of one of those things. Are we going to be seeing a deluxe version of Smash 4, or are we going to be seeing a new entry entirely?
Ooh. I think it would be crazy to try and develop a whole new Smash game in the time. Well, actually, you know what? They've been working on the Switch for a while. It's not as crazy as I thought. I talked myself out of that pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Smash 4 was released in what, 2014? So
2014, yeah. That's right.
So I mean, they've had
time.
Sakurai's had enough time, I think, to they port a lot of the elements from the Wii U and everything over to the Switch and stuff in terms of that, and then just graphically update everything.
Yeah.
Better than what it is. And
that's only if Sakurai has continued to do his notorious thing where he's like, I'm done with Smash, and then he brings another one anyway.
Yeah.
Well, we already knew that. That's just going to happen for the rest of his life.
Basically.
You're now the Smash guy. You gave up on Kirby. You're not giving up on Smash. You're making us too much money. Stop it.
That's right. Yeah, they can't lose Sakurai's work for multiple series.
I want to see another direct where he pulls his hands to his face and he inhales. So he's like.
Yeah, when he's ready to go.
Yeah,
I love that. That was one of my favorite parts. That was
amazing. That was really funny.
I love Sakurai.
So, we'll see. I mean, Nintendo is also making a special Switch GameCube controller, so, I mean, this is something that we kind of knew was kind of going to happen with the Switch update with the GameCube adapter being a thing, so they're calling it the GameCube Pro Controller. It's going to, include the USB Type-C to the GameCube cable for GameCube capabilities, and then hopefully with this we'll maybe get some virtual console love for GameCube.
I would kill to be able to play Thousand Year Door on the go. So I'm all for some GameCube virtual console.
Oh yeah, that would be definitely something nice to see, and I think the time is we're getting close to that point where I think it's pretty safe to say that the virtual console in some form or another is going to be coming.
Yeah, at some point
we've come to that point where Nintendo is gotten to it. I think it was a little while before we got Virtual Console on even the 3DS or the Wii U, if I remember correctly, because they released a few of the primaries, and then they released the Virtual Console.
Virtual Console wasn't out for a while for the 3DS, aside from the Ambassador Program games. If you bought the 3DS at launch, which was kind of a mistake because there weren't games for it, they gave you 10 Game Boy Advance games and 10 NES games, and that was fantastic, but that was all the Virtual Console was until I don't remember when it actually launched, but it was a while after launch.
It was a year or two after they launched it. But in other news, and this is kind of non-Nintendo related news, but it's eSports related, Olympic consideration for having eSports. So according to a report on Silicon Era, based on a posting made by the Inquirer, the members of the Olympic Summit, held under the IOC President Thomas Bach, came to an agreement that esports might be considered a legitimate sport in terms of the Olympic sphere. And the main reasoning of the group was focused on the intensity of training that competitive gamers undergo when preparing for competition, and the group looked at this as comparable to athletes in traditional sports, despite not being a physical activity. It's not. There's not really a great physicality, but you can get thumb injuries from playing games. You've got a lot of mental strain, eye strain. Think about archers, how much detail archers have to have. That's pretty much the level of intensity of detail that archers have to have, gamers have to have as well, because you have to have those pixel perfect movements.
You got a lot of training that has to go into any of this, so that's definitely something that they're looking into, and we might see sometime in the future, probably not here coming up here soon, but as long they're considering it. After the summit, they basically went and said that esports could provide a platform for engaging with the Olympic movement. And in order for esports to become a legitimate sport, it must not infringe on any Olympic values and would need to have an organization to kind of watch over competitor compliances with all the rules and regulations of the Olympic movement. So, I mean, that's something that, if this is going to become such a thing, someone's going to have to, basically look at it and be like, okay, we got to kind of, look at all the games and, make sure that everything is working in such a way that, you get all the compliances in and it works to, the way the Olympics want to run, kind of thing. So
now, here's something that I want to think about that has been an interesting thing to consider. Are we going to see a situation where we've got, is it going to be summer or is it going to be winter?
That's true. That'd be interesting.
I would probably say it should be a winter thing because it's more of an indoorsy type event.
Yeah.
Versus like the summer. I mean, you could do it during the summer, but I mean, I would say like you would probably want to do it at a Winter Olympics just because you have more of an indoor type situation where you can just have it in a building versus the Summer Olympics.
Although it might not be good to have it in the winter because if you know anything about the esports scene right now, we just had League of Legends just had Worlds very recently. The Overwatch World Cup just wrapped up. The Collegiate Series is going on right now. There's a lot of stuff in esports tends to happen
in the winter
already.
True.
So if you pile Olympic esports on top of regular esports season, then that might not be great for the competitors to have that much going on at a time. So if you split it up, it might make sense even.
But the other thing is too, those esports competitions are annual things where this is
once every 4 years.
Once every 4 years. It's a quartannual thing, I guess you could say. I just probably invented a word there, but it gets my point across.
Both winter and summer, just different esports every season. That's what it'll be.
Yeah.
It'll be different games each Olympics.
Yeah.
Great.
So we've got a potential of a possible Hulu delay on Switch.
Well, no, it's on the Switch, but the reason why it was delayed on Switch for so long, basically, and that was because Nintendo kind of decided that in terms of delaying, anything to do with the video streaming service on the Switch. It was just kind of weird. When reading this article, basically, in order to play the videos and do all this stuff, the Switch needed in order to program it, you needed an encryption feature, but Nintendo kind of locked it to focus on just the games. We had an interview with Julian Eggbert, which is the VP of Hulu and the president of Factor 5, which we'll talk about a little later. And he says, as soon as the encryption was gone, it was really easy to, get the whole thing going. But he kind of said that, Nintendo just, for the first little bit of the launch, wanted just to focus on games, not have to worry, not worry about streaming services and, have to worry about if that's going down or stuff like that or, anything in terms of stuff like that. But they just wanted to get the Switch up and running, get going, get a bunch of selling stuff, and then later on, they went and unlocked this feature. So hopefully we'll be able to see Amazon, their streaming service, on there as well as Netflix coming here soon.
And hopefully YouTube at some point in the future as well. I would really like to have YouTube on the Switch at some point.
Yeah, so I mean, this is something that, now we kind of know why we've been waiting for, all these different streaming services that are normally on, the Nintendo consoles, why they weren't there.
Launch, yeah.
It's because the big end's like, wait.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know it's intentional, and that they really just want to make sure everything's as good as possible before it comes out.
Yeah, we don't want to release it directly to you.
Of course.
Not yet. So.
Speaking of the Switch, we've got Time Magazine, the ubiquitous Time Magazine, has given Switch one of the 25 best inventions of 2017.
Basically quoted saying it was a cool hybrid console that allows you to play in like neat new ways. You go on the go and as well as docking it at home. So and unique games that have come to it so far. So that's pretty cool that a magazine has put it in its top 25. They haven't given it a specific. They didn't number any of these, but it's on the list, so that's still pretty cool. Cool to see that as a thing for Nintendo for their accolades.
And if you think about it, this is like Time Magazine is as far away from gaming as you can be in terms of everything, and if they're giving them the credit that they're giving them, I think we've got a good thing going for Nintendo, and I think this is a really good bounce back from what the Wii U was and what the Wii U should have been.
They definitely have hit their stride on this generation. I think they've had their sales numbers and the popularity of it just kind of goes to show how much of a turnaround this has been from the Wii U. How excited people are to come back to Nintendo and play their games again.
And I mean, just the simple fact that it's not 4K, it's not running at 120 frames per second. It's quality stuff.
Yeah. Interestingly, so a Mario movie. We've got the Wall Street Journal. These guys again. They reported that Illumination Entertainment and Universal Pictures are very close to reaching a deal with Nintendo for an animated Super Mario Bros. Movie. Which I would love to see. I wonder how they would do it, but I think it would be pretty good. However, this is still a rumor because the last time the Wall Street Journal reported about Nintendo doing a movie/TV show, we got the news about the Netflix Zelda series, and we all know how that turned out. Which, to my frustration, because I would have loved a Netflix Legend of Zelda series.
I was so disappointed when I realized that wasn't true.
Yeah.
I was like, it gives me a reason to, buy Netflix and not steal it off of someone else. I can get my own account. I'll buy it. I'll support this, please. And then nothing. I'm like, wow.
However, I do think this is more plausible because since it involves Universal Pictures, if you know anything about that right now,
they're already partnered.
They're partnered with them to make Nintendo themed attractions at Universal Studios, which is. I think there might be a little more credibility to this one, and I think they've talked about doing something like that before. So who knows how it's going to go, but I think this one might be a little more plausible than there were talks at some point. Talks only of a Netflix Zelda series, that's all they had to go on. But this is they're close to reaching a deal with them, so this has been going on for a while, and it's got a little more substance to it.
So we'll see about that. Hopefully they can make.
They'll break the curse of video game movies being bad.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because I really hope that
I don't know. Warcraft wasn't terrible.
It was okay.
It was just okay though.
It wasn't. It wasn't what it needed to be in terms of a video game movie. We need. The only video game movie that has come out in the past couple of years that has done anything hasn't even been about a new current video game or a video game that has been out was Wreck-It Ralph.
It hasn't been about a real video. Speaking of which, they're working on the second one. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun to go see.
So, but I mean, that's the only successful and great
video game because it's movie. Not about trying to be a video game movie. It's just trying to be a movie.
So,
alrighty.
All right.
It's about that time of the show that we got to pause for our Michigan Journal story for the day and also our studio identification. So, unfortunately, I still haven't been able to find that studio identification file, so I'm going to be doing it manually again today. So, give me 1 second, I'll get that Michigan Journal story going. Josh will pause the music, all that jazz, and we'll go for there, okay? All right, and you are listening to Nintenbros, hosted by Chris, Josh, and Noah on Radio WUMD, Fridays at 9 a.m. Alrighty, guys, let's get back into our show. And I actually nailed it this time. I didn't mess up last week.
Good job, man.
I nailed it. All right, so let's jump right into our final topic for the day. It's a big topic, and it's a topic that all three of us are very, very adamant about. And it is EA
and Battlefront 2.
Oh boy!
So if you haven't been following along with Battlefront 2, let me catch you up to speed. So EA, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the new game coming out. It's a brand new game. It's not. I would prefer you go play the old Battlefront 2 instead of this one, but they decided that in order to unlock a lot of things in-game, you're going to need to spend time playing it, which makes sense. Get loot boxes in the game, or you can buy credits and purchase them. Oh no. It turns out some people have done the math for what you need to do, and to unlock a single hero in the game, so someone like Darth Vader, Rey from The Force Awakens, Luke Skywalker, etc., you will need to play around 40 hours just to unlock one hero. And to unlock all of the content in the game, you would need to play around, I think it was 3,500 hours to 4,000 hours, or pay $2,000 to buy all the credits. To buy
so everything. You can either,
and that's not even counting. That's underselling it. There's more. They didn't account for everything you would have to do.
So you basically are spending 2 years of work weeks.
Yeah.
40 hours a week to get all the content, or you're buying a used car.
Right. They're expecting you to put in the same amount of time into this game that you would have if you've been playing WoW since it came out, and with probably a fraction, like a 64th of the gameplay, I would say, and that's probably being generous.
So...
And it has been a big to-do. They've tried to, work the way out of it. Their response, Reddit is a very popular site where the person who compiled this information posted it. EA actually responded on Reddit. They said, and I quote, "We want our players to feel a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking characters and content in these games. Translation, screw you guys, we want your money. Because we don't... Look, I would feel a sense of pride and accomplishment if it took me an hour to unlock something. I don't need to spend 40 hours to unlock a thing."
At that point, it's already you're mentally checked out at that point.
Exactly.
Just trying to unlock this character.
I mean,
it's not going to be any fun.
It's not like Zelda where you have little increments and it takes a half hour to get to the shrine, and then it takes 20 minutes to do the shrine, and then when you're done, you're like, yes, I've completed another portion of the map. I have a new shrine, and I have the potential to increase my health or stamina.
Right.
And I only spent what, 45 minutes, 50
Probably.
minutes on that?
Something like that.
It's ludicrous that EA, and EA being what EA is,
Yeah.
and we all know that EA will continue to do stuff like this, but it's just ludicrous that people continue to allow this to happen.
Yeah. And I think the outcry at this has definitely, I'm hoping it starts a turning point where people were not allowing this to happen anymore.
I refuse to buy Battlefront 2.
Yeah, I'm not buying Battlefront 2.
I will not buy
Absolutely
Battlefront 2.
I think the most telling thing is that this very quickly, the developer response very quickly became the most downvoted comment in Reddit history. With the next one had negative 20,000 downvotes. Mm-hmm. This comment reached negative 630,000 points. It's incredible how many people have shown this is a terrible thing to do. Do not do this. You guys are the worst.
Yeah, and really now at this point we've got damage control, and I say damage control with air quotes in the studio, because literally hours before they launched, they're like, yeah, we're gonna take those in-game purchases away, which it's too far gone at this point. The damage has been done.
Super done.
It's damage control, and really realistically, they took the one of the two options that they had, and we discussed this with a guy in our software engineering class, Noah, that they either could do this or they would just double down on their policy and just scrape the money that they can from the people that actually will buy the game and are not as knowledgeable enough to just shell money out to it. But now that they've taken this away, now they're really going to be hurting on this game. I
think they've lost a lot of player base.
Yeah, and they're not coming back.
Just in one day.
And they're not coming back.
What do you think, Josh?
It's hard to say because, like me, I am purchasing the game solely because I don't play online. That's my thing. I don't. I don't
doing it for the campaign.
I'm doing it for the campaign because a lot of we haven't had a Star Wars campaign for a while. Like the last one we had was what the heck was it?
Force Awakens or Force Released.
Yeah, yes. Force Unleashed, and I enjoyed both games. The second one wasn't as great as the first one, but both of them were pretty good. I enjoyed them fairly well. I do love the campaign. And that's what I'm kind of looking forward to mostly with it is the is the campaign. So I mean, because I don't pay for online, and the local multiplayer, you'll be fine. You'll be able to play your own stuff.
I'm gonna be right back, guys.
All right, sounds good. Stuff to that nature. I mean, yeah. As much as I hate EA, I mean, it is good that they did drop down the time it's going to take you in order to spend to unlock a character. So glad to hear that is a thing. But like me and Noah were talking about beforehand, they said this they're removing the in-game purchases, but
they didn't say they're removing them entirely. They said they're disabling them for now. They said they might get re-enabled at a later date, depending on how things go. Which, that kind of language always scares me. It's always like, oh yeah, we'll enable it at a later date, next week, or something like absurd like that, because it's EA and those are practices that they are prone to.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, they've worded it in such a way that it'll make people happy at first glance, but if you scrutinize it, I don't know, man. It's looking bad for them. I'm not planning on purchasing. I already kind of wasn't. Like, I wasn't super excited about it, but now I'm like, we even if on principle, if you wanted to play the game, you need to vote with your wallet now. Now is the time to say, we will not accept this kind of these business models, these practices in gaming any longer, because we can't anymore. Tying it to, if they had done loot boxes and it had just been cosmetic effects,
sure,
absolutely
go ahead.
fine, absolutely fine. Overwatch does that. It's fantastic. Team Fortress 2 does that. It's fantastic. So many games, Destiny 2, loot cosmetics, fantastic.
You don't need it in order to get
you don't
content.
Need it's not pay to win. That stuff, those are fine systems. But if you tie it to progression and making the player actively stronger, that is terrible. Like, you're killing the game on release, you're making it pay to win, and people will pay to win, but,
a majority of the people aren't gonna be paying to win.
They aren't gonna be able to pay to win, even. Mm-hmm. They don't have that kind of money lying around, or the time to invest into it. Mm-hmm. So, we need, now is the time to let developers know, like this, and I think we have, to a large degree, that you can't do this. We're not going to take it any longer.
And also, I'm totally unbiased and totally I'm going to make this joke, this is just furthering the Switch's success.
It's kind of true. Oh look, EA doesn't support the Switch? Well, we don't want it at this point. I don't want you to touch the Switch now, EA. I've gone for the opinion of, you should release games on the system, too. I don't even want you to touch it. I really don't.
FIFA, fine. FIFA's fine.
Yeah, sure.
That's it. That's all we need.
Yeah.
If you want to release a Madden, fine.
You shot yourself in the foot with the Switch. You shot yourself in the foot with Battlefront. Maybe, can we finally, not let EA continue to do things anymore? Can we just get rid of them now?
I'm ready to.
I'm done with them.
No, and a company that actually would be good to kind of maybe take over for Battlefront, if that is a thing that would happen. You have Factor 5, the president, which we talked about a little bit beforehand, Julian Eggbert, he's the president of Factor 5. He kind of wants to, in an interview, he basically went and said he wants to kind of revitalize a canned Wii game, which was Star Wars Rogue Leaders, Rogue Squadron. It never saw a release on the Wii. It was supposed to. He kind of wants to see it back on the Switch, which would be a great Star Wars game.
That would be great.
That would be if EA never put the Battlefront on the Switch, and we had Factor 5 go ahead and put this on for the Switch instead, I would be completely fine with that.
Absolutely.
That'd be
100%.
Great. It'd be a compilation featuring modified versions of Star Wars Rogue Squadron Rogue Leader and Star Wars Rogue Squadron Rebel Strike, and to have new graphics at 60 frames per second and new content. So I mean, that would
be excellent.
That I would be perfectly fine with that instead, because any of the Rogue Squadron games, they're very good.
Rogue Squadron's excellent.
You get those space battles that you would supposedly get in Battlefront, but you know what? At this point, forget EA.
Yeah, I'm super over it.
They have, for anyone that has not been able to see the light, they have shown their true faces in terms of money-grubbing, loving company that don't care anything about gamers. So, at this point, it's like, well, sorry, EA, your time is up.
Yeah, I certainly hope that this is. I mean, they've got so much money that they'll be able to stick around for a while. But I really, really hope that. I hope that they take this to heart and they actually do change their business practices. That's my hope. I hope they become a better company because of this. But I think it's very unlikely that they will.
And here's the thing: they're either going to change their business practices, or they're going to get blacklisted.
That's true.
And personally, I personally think that it's going to be more likely the latter rather than the former.
Yeah.
Because they want money. That's all that they're interested in, and that's pretty much been EA since the beginning.
Mm-hmm. They've never been nice to gamers in any way, shape, or form. We thought they were going to change a new leaf with them initially with Battlefront, saying that they'd be giving free DLC because they screwed us over with the first Battlefront.
Yeah.
Free DLC, and yet progression is pay to win.
So
yeah, of course.
That's we knew that they're going to do. I had a feeling that they were going to be doing something like this.
We knew they'd screw it up. I knew the second they talked about Battlefront 2 at E3 this year, I knew they'd screw it up. There's no way they don't. Because they're EA, and that's what they do. They have not learned how to successfully be a game company. They've learned how to be just money machine, and it's not going to work for any longer. Like it's played itself out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right,
man.
Well, that was a.
I certainly hope we see some good come out of this. The optimist in me really wants them to come away from this and be a better company for it, but the realist in me says that they probably won't.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that things turn out later on. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yep. And that's about it for what we've got for the show. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody who celebrates Thanksgiving, and for those of you
enjoy
who
the
do
time
not,
with your family this holiday, folks.
And for those of you who do not, have a nice next Thursday and the next Friday, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm Chris.
I'm Noah.
And I'm Josh.
And we are the Nintenbros. Remember to game on, everybody.